My name's Gregory. You can find me on YouTube, Power User with Crash Long Johns. That's me. And also on Twitter at Crash Long Johns. Basically, where this kind of came from is back in August, and before that, I've been seeing people creating these games, and I'm like, you know what? I do day in, day out normal work, creating intake solutions and things like that. Let's kind of have some fun. And then where it really sparked is after August, seeing Gerard Simpson from North Ireland having how to feed your dragon game. I was like, oh, I got to get on this bandwagon. So my calendar idea came about because when I was a kid, again, these days, I don't know if they're still out there or not, but I had a pop-up book. It was a Christmas pop-up book, and back of it had a pop-up a house, and you'd open each of the windows and you'd sit there and see a picture behind each of the windows. And that's kind of where this came about. I'm like, all right. And then we added some games to it, so some extra stuff. So let's kind of jump in here and get into like what we got in this one Power App itself. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So what we got here is my calendar idea. Started out small. I did have a little bit of some creep, but it makes it all worthwhile. So this Power App is kind of a year-round Power App. So first thing is on January 1st, you're going to see this screen. Happy New Year. From January 2nd to the end of October, we're going to get, hey, Santa the reindeer on vacation at the beach. And we've got our little crab and our little computer, and it's telling us how many days are left. Right now, it does show -16. That's because normally you don't see this after that date when it becomes 0. But what we will show, like, hey, this is what you see. Once it becomes November 1st, you'd actually get the screen of the Santa's house and everything, and telling you, like, hey, we're closed, and how many more days till December 1st. Now we get into our actual little advent calendar. Snow starts falling, and we have our little doors that we can open, windows. And what it is every single day you can open up a door or a window, but you can't go past that day until that day comes. So example, right now this one's set down here to December 10th for this example. So I can hit each of the days and open up, and voila, there's an actual picture behind each of our little windows. And I can go all the way up to the 10th, but after that, I can't go any further because it's only December 10th. And then I can also hit a reset, and it closes all the windows. So, and then our little snowflakes and everything, they're all on timers. They're at various different durations and rates, so that way, when it first loads, they all start kind of at the same time, but then as it goes on, you can see that we got it falling at different rates. Let's go to a full December. So we're going to go into our full December. So this is December 1st through the 31st. And I did add down here today's date, so you could see, like, hey, it's set for December 31st. In the normal production, it's actually not set to one particular date. I do have, I can show this once we get in the back end, but it's set to a today value of text for now, and then just looking at the day and the month. So in this case, I can open up all the way to the 25th, as we can see here. But here's where the extra magic comes in. Once we get to December 18th, our little first present shows up. We get our purple present. And then on the 23rd, we get our second present that shows up. And this is the bonus. These are the games. So we're going to go ahead and click on our first present, our purple present. And we get capture the reindeer. So basically the goal is capture as many reindeer above the chimneys. You collect the reindeer as many times as you can that they're visible, and you get your reindeer counter added. So we're going to go ahead, and we got 20 seconds to do this. So we're going to click on easy, Nice thing is in here you're going to see that the reindeer might stay a little bit longer and easy because the duration's a little longer. But we're going to go ahead and start the game. Now it's going to be make it interesting because I'm actually have to click a mouse. This works a whole lot better on a laptop with a touchable screen or an actual like iPad. The one piece I haven't really been able to test as far as like what it looks like on an actual physical iPad, because I'll be honest, I actually don't have one. So and everybody always teases about me and my technology, like, but you're doing tech stuff. Why do you? I'm like, yeah, I'm cheap. So we're going to go ahead and start this game here. So also we're going to have our reindeer eventually show up here because I do have a shuffle in there too, and maybe not, but am I going to get any reindeer that's going to show up? Oh, there is one, finally, with my shuffle. Oh, got to click some more. Come on, click the reindeer.
So Craig, you're clicking them so fast again that you're barely seeing them show up again.
I know.
Yeah.
So there's 34. So let's go to a hard one real quick.
We know what happens when you go to hard.
I know.
We
Get ready.
this last
Because
week.
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to capture them with a mouse click. Here we go. Start game. Oh, reindeer
It's
over the
a lot
moon.
harder to capture them. And that's why we can't see them, because they're flying by and going on and off so quick. Well, Craig's trying to do it as fast as he can.
Oh, I got 7. My table wasn't done. So, I got 8. But like I said, it's easier with a touch screen.
That's true.
But there we go. We got our capture the reindeer. We got easy, normal, hard. The reindeer, on the easy, sometimes it varies because it does have a shuffle in there and based on a timer. So it doesn't mean that the reindeer is always going to be there because it's shuffling as the timer ends and reshuffles. So that's why our first one was kind of like, oh, the timer's going, but no reindeer. They're there. They just had it. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. But they will show up. So let's go ahead and go back. So that's our first little surprise of our games. And then this one, we're going to go ahead and click on our second present, which again shows up on the 23rd. And this one is going to be our catch this elf. So you got like 1 minute to catch an elf or elves moving across the shelves. You click as many times as you can on the elf. You will see elves to catch per level standing on the bench, which is on the right-hand side. And click the right elf and gain points. Wrong elf and you'll lose points. So good luck and see how many stockings you can earn. So we can hit our little racer. And you can look at the point scale. There's an easy, normal, and hard point scale based on which level you're going to pick. So we're going to go ahead and click on easy. So we got our easy. Oh, all right, here's my elf that I'm trying to catch. And we kind of look at it, kind of get a feel for like, hey, what's the elf I'm catching? All right, and we're going to go ahead and hit our start game.
And you got to look real close at Craig's elves because he made some of the details on what's the wrong elf hard to find.
So easy. It's kind of easy to pick out because I made it easy. But so we're going to hit our start game. And all right, we got our 60 seconds. Oh, here comes the elves. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Oh, there's one. All right. I'm getting points because, like I said, easy. I know I'm just looking for some blue shoes. All right, I'm gaining points. Oh, there's the blue one at the top. I want more points. Oh, yeah, I got my stocking. Woohoo! Like I said, this makes it tough when I'm having to click a mouse. That's a lot of mouse clicking. Oh, I got another stocking.
Your score's flying up way harder than it was last week. You're on the ball.
Well, it also helped that the shuffle worked for me in this case because the high point. Oh, good. She's on the end there.
They're going away.
I know. It's like, oh,
can you get to 1,500?
Oh, got it.
Almost no more elf on the shelf.
So
awesome.
Trust me, with a touchable screen, you can get all 6 stockings. And I even have done it on the hard, but you have to have the right shuffle and you just got to be on your game. But so here we go. So Todd liked this one too. And this is where it gets interesting. We're going to go hard. Ooh, I got 2 elves try to catch that I can earn points on. Okay, let's look here. We got, yeah. All right. And here we go, guys and gals. So I'm going to start a game.
We need a jump ball emoji that we can put up here. So Craig, just like I predicted, the first question to pop up is going to be about how did you get the snowflakes falling on the fibers? Yep. Clarissa asked about that one. So Clarissa, Craig showed this to me last week. As you can see, he's jamming. You get more points on hard level, and I thought that question you had would come up. So Craig's ready to take you through that one. Actually, what do you think about this game? That's cool, huh?
Cool.
It's 5 seconds left. And
yeah.
5,000.
710. Woo. So there's our quick little 2 games may definitely keep you entertained. No. So we go back, and then what takes place, after December 31st, once it becomes January 1st, they'll go back to, hey, you got to wait for the year to then be able to replay during December. So, but those are the 2 out there. So yeah, so let's go ahead and go into the back end here. And here's our open calendar. So what we are looking at for having our snowflakes and even kind of the gallery, it's all based on timer, location, and durations. So if we go ahead and expand this out, so I'm looking at the width, the height of my gallery, or the height of my actual screen. I'm also looking at the width of the actual icon itself. So if we go down here, we got my one group timer of the snow. As you can see, I have this it's repeating, it's auto start and everything. If I look at in my group, I got all the different timers for each of my flakes. So on the timer flake 7, I'm sitting there, I got a duration of 8780. And if I go to the actual group flakes, should be in here. My 1 or 2, there it is, image.
It's an A+ for naming conventions.
Oh, yes.
For sure.
So here's my image flake 7. If we actually go down, and it's going to actually be in the Y piece, because we saw the L's, I'm using the X. But for the Y grid, what we're doing is we're taking the timer flake value, and I'm dividing that by 10, and then minus 110, which the 110 is actually the width of the actual snowflake itself. So what we're doing is we're setting it outside, and the timer value then is going down, and then it just repeats over and over again. The biggest thing that you kind of have to do, and thank goodness for my past econ and statistics background, is the math comes into play, because you have to start playing a little bit. I would get them off where they needed to be based on their width, but then trying to figure hey, do I need to do that divide by 10 with the duration? Mm-hmm. And what you're doing is you're taking that width and your timer value is that duration value, and you're dividing that all. So I know that's not the greatest explanation, but it does work. You just happen to set your width of width or height of your actual screen. And then, so we'll just use, I'll show it a little easier in the versus the snowflakes. Let's actually go to, let's collapse this a little bit. Actually go into the elves. This will be easier to kind of explain and see. So we got down here, here's my top shelf, mid shelf, lower shelf. That's my timers. And we got our lower shelf. And so with my lower shelf, to set that gallery off to the left-hand side, which you'll see it right there. I know that the width of that and everything to set it off is the width of the screen is 1366. So I set that over there and that moves it over by the 1366. In this case, my image, not the image, but the gallery itself, we go down and look at the X. It's looking at my timer lower shelf value, again, my whole duration. I'm dividing that. In this case, it's not an actual, like, you're not seeing an actual like number like we did with the snowflakes, like, hey, 10. This one is, I'm using a variable for my lower gallery rate. And the reason why is when I hit the easy, normal, hard button, I'm setting a rate for each of those so that way it's faster or slower. And that's what that rate's doing, is like it's making things faster, slower. And then the minus 1366, it's minusing pretty much the width of my screen. My screen 1366 wide. So if we look at the easy button, we get into a slew of stuff going on. But in here, part of that gallery is I'm collecting my images for that particular like elf, lower, middle, and top, because I have that specific for the easy, what images I want to show for the easy. I'm setting my gallery durations, which in this case, they're all 60,000. My gal rate, I'm also having a certain rate, which if we look into the hard, you'll see that they vary. And then I have shuffles. I'm also displaying which doll to show, what stockings and amount to show. And then I reset some timers. And then in my start, I really get, I'm starting my variables for the elf start, which starts the timers, and then the visible for the shelves. If we look at the hard, you'll see that here, those durations change a little bit, and also the gal rates change. And again, this is where kind of that, what I did is to like really help out is I definitely was doing algebra, which I was just writing out like, okay, X is this, Y is that. And then, but even though you'd calculate it out, sometimes I had to tinker with this and play it, because it's like, okay, I want it to go all the way and not all of a sudden disappear and then start over again. So you have to like, I had to like tweak like, okay, if I do 7 point, divide out stuff. So yeah, hopefully that answered and kind of gave the insight there. It was just, that particular piece, yeah, it didn't take me long. It was just more figuring out like the calculation piece. One of Todd's famous questions they always ask when it comes to the games and stuff is like, how long did it actually like take us? So in my case, it actually took 2 weeks to get everything like completed. That wasn't like 7.5 hour days each day for 2 weeks. I might have had like a weekend where I maybe spent 4 or 5 hours, and then the rest of the days, maybe a couple hours here and there. The hardest part about everything is was just the images. The concept and everything, I felt was pretty easy to like put into play, hiding, showing, getting my collections, my variables. But it was the image pieces because it took me, I had to go out. I did purchase, the images that I was after in my case. So that was the piece, because I'd get an image and then be like, can I make it fit? And then get it to the right dimensions. So I personally, I was utilizing Illustrator with Adobe Illustrator and doing that way. So
that's awesome. You have such a great set of skills, all the way from the front end design to the mathematician behind it to make things move, and the IT concepts of putting it all together and making different levels. That's really awesome, Craig. A lot of people are wondering if you're going to share this app. Did you upload it anywhere?
I haven't uploaded yet, but I tend to. So
awesome.
I should...
Oh, look, wow, the applause got tripled when he said that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, I forgot to ask you that on our call, because like, oh yeah, how exactly? Because I know I need to try to do that, but yeah, I haven't done that yet. So
very cool. That was very neat. Thank you for sharing it. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun to get into the Christmas spirit here. My son came in and watched it while you were demoing it, and he's like, 2 thumbs up.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. I guess he got lucky to be sick home from school on the day we did the community call. All right. Well, yeah. Cool. Thanks again, Craig. That's awesome. And whenever you make another, let us know. We'd love to see the next one you build.
Thanks, Todd. And I know somebody asked like if, what my handles were again. I know it's in our slide deck for resources. So.